last to be inhabited. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's the final proving ground, like modern day Atlantis, pretty much.
That's correct. Maui is the spiritual awakening land. Maui is the creator. Maui was a demigod. He was a human being at one time, and Maui itself is a type of island that, should you not do what you're told to do, it'll push you or your family out, and it'll cause havoc on you.
Yeah.
So, in this case, we're talking water. So Maui is really powerful in water.
Yeah.
Maui is powerful in the long days. Maui is powerful in the ocean, and we have everything we need. That's why we're so isolated. So, it's kind of one of those questions where, how come the Hawaiians got here first?
Yeah.
Where was everybody else? What were they doing, right, to get here? And how did they get
Someone
here?
must have pointed on the right way.
I believe that there's a spiritual guidance, and there's a higher power out there that has guided the Hawaiian people here.
Definitely, because just because a coconut drifted down, that doesn't mean you're automatically going to send a fleet of guys north 100 nautical miles.
Absolutely.
Know what I mean? It was more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'd have to be spiritually guided on a lot of all of this stuff. And same with me, having this information, gathering it together, doing the research, doing the work. It was all spiritual guidance. A lot of the information was given to me through kapunas, through family, through the state, through the county. It's all public record, a lot of it. But then there was hidden information that you and I will uncover, but we uncover that through only the truth and through our people.
Yeah, and one more crazy deep point is it really unthinkable in the modern day of age to have some regular type of guy to not overthrow but start a new world order, start a new movement? Is it unthinkable that could happen?
I believe that is possible. The thinking is possible, and I believe that a new world order could come into play. But if that should happen, I believe also that if you and I and our people are in a good position, whether it be by the financing of the kingdom, whether it be by financing to corporate levels, that we'll have a very good view and access.
A much different view of the current way things are being run.
And I believe too, if you and I are here in Hawaii, majority of these so-called Illuminatis or leaders of this position, they'll come here, but they will be put in a position where, whoa, this guy's actually followed the law, and they actually did what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. It's not like he's just some crazy guy speaking out against them. It's what's right, and it's on paper. We're following their rules, and maybe it's time for them to relinquish the power to a new way of thinking.
I believe at the end that through this process and through this way of exposing good evidence and hard paperwork, that the individuals will come down and they will come to a point where, you know what, let's work with this guy.
Yeah.
And let's just do that.
Definitely.
And then make this thing speed up.
Definitely.
And get this thing off and running,
and
which is getting people
maybe
back
not
to
even work
the
with
land.
them, just relinquish their power to a new way of thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, we want to work with them. What I don't want to do is I don't want to stop the flow of the water.
Right.
So I keep the water moving by doing proper negotiations, doing proper business.
Yeah, because they're already in places of power. They just need to revamp the way they've been thinking and stop taking so much water from the people and making the Terminator seed, and let people grow their own food. Don't give them Terminator seeds. Let them have the water to grow their food. Don't charge them up the butt for it. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, the law is very stringent too. We have to follow some of the guidelines of the law, and the law says that if people cause injury by using its waters, then they should not be having these waters. So in most cases, when you and I sit in a position as a utility, the people will come, such as Monsanto, A&B, HCNS, EMI, whoever's using the water. They're going to come. But at that time when they come, they have to prove who they are on paper, through their ownership, through their leases, and however they divide their
they're following the same rules just like how you followed the rules. So let's all work together. No one's going to get overthrown. It's not a new world power. It's just a new world way of thinking.
Yes, and actually, in that way of thinking, you need leaders. You need people who have actually literally done this kind of work in their history or in their lifespan. Now, I'm ex-military. That means that I've done things in the military that has trained me to understand how a system works, understand the basics and how things are organized. Also, the military taught me process. Okay, there's no way you can break through this kind of streamline. You have to stay on task.
Just one step at a time.
One step at a time. And most people will not catch it. It will take them time because most people today are how would you say, investors. They want to invest their money, and they're hoping that the gentleman or the individuals that they're investing in will generate money to them. But the reality of it, that's lost now. The government has mismanaged all the money. The reserves have mismanaged money, and now
because they're so greedy, and all the money goes to this little 1% that's so greedy and uptight. When they should just disperse it a little bit, like let the people have the water.
Absolutely, and I think too the people should have the water, but it should be done in a way where it's manageable.
Yeah, definitely. Don't just release it and let guys do whatever they want. I mean, obviously there needs to be order. There needs to be, but at the same time, not run by worldwide corporations.
Absolutely.
Run by local people that have the knowledge and ability to do it themselves.
Exactly.
But not like Monsanto controlling the whole Nile River and stuff. That's ridiculous. Like, that should be done with.
Absolutely. And the thing about Monsanto, if we're going to go on their topic, is that Monsanto is a company that is working with Alexander and Ball and HCNS and EMI. Now, the only way you'd be able to slow Monsanto down or any of these gentlemen down is through the water. Yeah. And it's through the contract agreements.
That's the beginning of life is water.
Exactly. And just keep in mind too, these contracts that we're talking about, they have to be honored, they have to be acknowledged, they have to be put out so that the rest of the government and the county and the state and the public is aware of it, all of it, and they need to be aware of it.
Yeah, because the rules are put in place for a reason, and you followed the rules, and you were done wrong within the confinements of the laws and the rules. So that's awesome that they're acknowledging you, and that you got the water for the people and to make some real changes. And
absolutely, and the thing is too, there was a couple things that happened along the way with the DCCA. Well, the DCCA is merely the corporation body. They create the corporation, but they're also taking complaints. So I had a few individuals that participated with their funding to assist me, and at the end of the day, we're talking about utilities that costs hundreds of millions of dollars. In fact, the county takes them 15 to 20 million just to put up a water facility on the grid and to be regulated and to follow the guidelines. So if they're doing that, that's what I'm talking about. The only problem is missing is that the county does not own or have access to water and its rights to it. They've been purchasing water through these entities such as Eastmont Irrigation through contracts.
That wrongfully seized it in the first place.
And Wailuku Ag, who wrongfully used permits of lands that are privately owned through the state. So in other words, what they did is that they operating in the behalf of the Hawaiian people.
So now they got to give it all back.
So now that's considered fraud, because you're not supposed to be collecting on something that you don't own. And using paperwork that doesn't belong to you and your family. So in that case, this is where the truth is unveiled, and this is where I'm coming through the water. And what's so cool about this process is that everyone will have to come to be accountable to the water for its use. So including Monsanto, the public has got to do the same. So the public has got to show me that they're the true heirs and owners of their property, and how did they get that. Mm-hmm. And it'll take a little long-term research to do all of that and uncover that. That's where we put people to work. And now I got jobs for people to do through that process. And so,
and you got water for people to use too.
And I got water for people. I got this whole
and you took all this unearned power away from people that never earned it. They stole it. They're the biggest crooks ever. You know what I mean? They're stealing the water of life, the why. Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest crime known to modern day humanity.
Absolutely. And even in today's modern world, there's a couple things that still stand out. And one of them is that water is going to be the 21st century has always been, and the near future, the gold of the world. Just like oil is. However, we're not going to, the Hawaiian people and the people here will not need the outside world to sustain itself, through the reason that we have a good water system, through the reason we have enough funding to create jobs and make people, allow people to go to work.
Yeah, we're pretty much at that point where we could stop importing oil, because we have so much solar on the grid. We got the solar right there, and then we can plug our cars into the solar, and we don't need no water from nobody, so we can just grow all our own food, and that would make even more jobs. So we should maybe make it the first state that doesn't even import any oil at all.
Absolutely. I think we could really